Hi guys, welcome to the Honest Perfume Reviewer. This is the channel where you will find brutal honesty about fragrances. I don't accept any free bottles or don't have any collaborations or anything like that. I mean, maybe I would if someone would offer me like free clothes or something, maybe I would, but I would never do it with the fragrances because I think it's super, super important to have that total objectiveness. Like I don't feel any obligations to be polite to anybody. Anyway, I have five fragrances to share with you today. They're all from samples I just received. One of them I've actually already given away because yesterday I met with a perfume friend and we spent like 5 hours just talking about perfume, like we always do when we get together. And she absolutely loves this fragrance, and I was kind of like, I don't know about it. And it's Rose Incense from Amouage. Those new gray bottles. It has been a part of the library collection, but now they've like brought it back in a new kind of bottling. And it's called Opus 12 Rose Incense. And it has all different notes, but it's all about rose and incense, just like the name says. And it's really beautifully made, but it's a little much, I think. I don't love rose. Like a rose dominant fragrance I find kind of tricky, and I like an incense dominant fragrance I find tricky as well. I've ended up getting rid of a lot of fragrances that are too much about like frankincense, but this one has notes of vanilla and myrrh and cedar and sandalwood. There are other things going on. It has a note of ink. This I guess came out it's made by Bruno Jovanovic. I'm not familiar with this perfumer. I guess it came out in 2019. And they're just kind of rebottling it, I think, if I've understood correctly. But since my friend is so in love with this fragrance, I gave the sample to her because I'm so busy with other things, and I have other things here that I would prefer to wear. Another fragrance that arrived the other day that I've had a time to wear, a time or two, it's called Desired, and the house is called Élisire. It's French. And they have like two different lines in this house. There's one like with transparent bottles. I think they're all 30 mil. I don't know if they make bigger bottles, but this one I don't think it's an extra. It is an extra. Okay, so their extras come in this comes in a gold bottle. And then there's one that comes in a silver bottle, like non-transparent. And this, as soon as I sprayed this, I was like, it was love at first sniff. It's like, I didn't think that I'm not like a huge saffron lover, but this one was kind of the bridge into loving saffron. It reminds me a little bit of Ganymede, if you're familiar with that fragrance from Marc Antoine, whatever. I don't know the name of that house. I can't remember quite, but I'm sure you're familiar with Ganymede if you watch this channel. It's been so hyped, but that one I thought it leaned a little bit too masculine. It was a little bit too metallic. It was too... This is warm, this is oriental, this is gourmand-ish. So it has a lot of saffron, and I've also underlined vanilla, oud, and jasmine. I'm thinking that these are the things that might distinguish it from Ganymede. I mean, it does have like a leathery quality, a little bit, but it's more like a sweet, easy to like fragrance. And I know the first time I tried this wasn't a total blind buy. I actually bought 3 samples. I never buy samples, but someone was selling them secondhand, and they were quite full and didn't want that much for them. So I did actually buy these. But at an event, I tried this, and I remember thinking that it smells like a designer. I think I'll get bored with this, even though I really liked it. But so I remembered that I really liked it. And as soon as I sprayed it, when I got this, I was like, oh, I just enjoyed it like all night. I sprayed it on. I was like, oh, this is so good. This is like a 10 out of 10. I mean, it's hard, I think, to rate fragrances because one thing is the first impression, but then when you wear it, it's not always for sure that the 10 out of 10s stay 10 out of 10s, But highly, highly recommend at this point in our life together, put it that way. It's so easy to like. It has sandalwood, tonka patchouli, labdanum, so it does have kind of a little bit of an ambery base. It's an oriental fragrance with heavy saffron. But I like it this way. I like it, the saffron in here with these other notes together, with the oud, with the vanilla. And it doesn't remind me of Rosendo Mateu number 7, although they have a lot of notes in common. I mean, that has both vanilla, oud, and patchouli. But this one has like saffron added, more, maybe there's the little bit more floral with the jasmine. It's just really different. I think this is easier to like anybody would like this. It would be a good first step into niche, I would say. I really, really will enjoy this sample. It's quite pricey for 30 mil, but at least they have 30 mil. They sell that size, which I think is good. So this might very well be a purchase in the future. Okay, what else did I get? This is my first, this one is called Chicago High, and it's from Vilhelm Parfumerie from New York. Someone just told me that there was some Swedish person involved in this brand. I don't know. I need to maybe research it a little better. But this fragrance, I've never tried anything from this brand before that I can remember. I know that I have tried like at events. I think there was one with mango that I recently tried that was really good from that brand. But I've never like had it on my skin and like given it a proper like wearing. This is called Chicago High, and this fragrance, it is a real divider. Like if you look on Fragrantica, some people really hate this fragrance, and some people really love this fragrance. And it's supposed to be like a tobacco, honey, leathery kind of fragrance, but to me, I get a lot of other things out of this. I think this is quite interesting, actually. But some of the funny reviews on Fragrantica were like, "This smells like the toilet on a Polish train." It's like, what? This smells like garbage, a bag of garbage laying in the sun, things like this. I mean, and I know a friend of mine who actually has a Polish background, she said one time that she had a fragrance. I can't remember what fragrance it was. And she said, this smells like a hotel rug. And I smelled that fragrance, and I could kind of see what she was saying, that like, this could be like, it's a little smoky. So like it could be, you put your nose kind of into the seating in like in a train where smoking used to be allowed. It has a little bit of that ashy, like old, stale, that you might be able to kind of identify in a hotel rug. Like I'm thinking wall-to-wall carpeting in a hotel, maybe that doesn't wash the rug every day. I don't know. This is really different. It has a note of champagne. It has some pineapple in the top, bergamot. I mean, I can already now say I'm not going to get a full bottle of this, but I will probably use this sample because I think it's like, it's interesting. There are things to discover in this fragrance. And I'm at the point now, I'd rather smell something new than something good. Just as I was when I was into cooking, I'd rather smell something new or taste something new than to taste something delicious, because I learn more and I get, my taste buds would be challenged. And I feel a little bit the same way with perfume. I wouldn't go and buy a full bottle, but I think it's really interesting, and I'm not ready with this one yet. Chicago High from Vilhelm Parfumerie. And then I got two from my friend Clara yesterday that I've worn this morning. Like it's like 11:20 now, and I've worn them since maybe 8 o'clock this morning. And I really like them both. And she doesn't like these fragrances. I'll give that to you first. One of them is Fatal Charm. It's from the JTC collection from I think it is anyway. Yeah, they come in these blue bottles, and they're different. They're supposed to represent different clubs. Fatal Charm. This is supposed to represent elegance and luxury, I think. And she says all she gets from this fragrance is fennel and anise, and like it's like look at that, those kind of mentholic kind of things going on. But for me, that's not what I get. I had to look it up on Fragrantica, like what the notes. This is because this is an iris fragrance. This has like orris root, powdery notes, floral notes, aldehydes. It's a little bit aldehydic, not much. It's a little kind of, it gives me a little bit of a Chanel kind of vibe. Like what Chanel could it be? Like maybe like 1957, 1932, like maybe a little bit of that. But this has more depth. This has ambergris, spicy notes, and tobacco in the base, believe it or not. And I don't get I don't get in the opening. I might have to just spray a little bit more right there where I sprayed earlier, just to kind of, because the opening is a little different. But the dry down is really, really nice. Yeah, it does have a fennel kind of opening. It's a little kind of minty almost. What does it say about those accords? Fresh, animalic. I don't know. It has a little bit of a fennel kind of licoricey opening, for sure. And I don't like the opening as much, but I love the dry down. And I'm definitely can like spray this all over myself in the near future. I've only like worn it on one arm, and I had something else on the other arm, like for maybe 3 hours. And I have not been able to stop sniffing myself. It's like, it's so darn good. I think it's really, really good. Really nice fragrance. Let's see, there's a Chris Maurice created this fragrance. I will be revisiting this in the next few days. And then there was another sample that I got from Clara, and it's called Echoes of Silence. And that the house is called Christèle Jacquemin, I think it's called, she calls herself. And she ordered this sample, I think, because she loves Palo Santo. But she says all she gets is lemongrass. And look at the color of that. So I was kind of had really low expectations. I didn't think I'd like it. Palo Santo, I like it, but I'm not like hooked on it. But it is really, really good. The dry down, I don't love the opening because it's like really kind of like sharp, citrusy something. But it's really, really beautiful. I think there's some, this is a really good fragrance. It's not it's not something I typically would pick up. But I'm always, looking for new samples. I want, material so I can review things on this channel. And I said, I'll take it and see what I think. And let's see what her name is, Jacquemin or something. Christèle, her first name. That's the name of the house, Echoes of Silence. And the inspiration for this fragrance is like a trip to sunny Spain or something. It has a really nice, just the right level of smokiness, Palo Santo vibe in the bottom. Like, I'm not so familiar with Palo Santo, so I probably wouldn't be able to say that that was it. But since I now have looked into it, and it's a little bit creamy, it's a little bit woody, it's a little bit, I'm getting a little iris from this as well. It's like, oh, I love this. It's so, so good. So I'll get back to you on this. Consider it kind of a first impression, but it's really, really like. And in the next couple days, I will also be reviewing more from Amouage. I now have 3 new decants in my collection. Epic Woman, which I have tried, like last summer, I tried a milliliter of it, and I got all into that. And then I kind of got off of it over the winter, and now I asked my friend for a new decant. I had it on my arm all yesterday, and I can see if I still smell it. I don't still smell it, but it kind of it lasted me like for 15 hours on the skin. I mean, it was, the longevity was insane. So I'll be talking more about Epic Woman as the weather starts to warm up, because I think this special fragrance works better in heat. And then I also have like 2 beautiful florals from Amouage, and one is Honor, and then one is Blossom Love. That's all about cherry blossom. So I'll be happy to review them for you when I've given them some more attention. And then I'll tell you one thing. I tried one really exciting fragrance yesterday that Clara is very, very much into right now, and it is called Caramel, Salt Caramel from Shay and Blue. And it's quite affordable. It comes in a 30 ml bottle and a 100 ml bottle. I don't know the exact price. I think it was like 45 euros for the 30. But it's not really easy to find. And when she first sprayed it on, I really, really hated it. And I had it on my arm like for like several hours. But the opening smells like artificial buttered popcorn. And I really don't like that at all. It smells a little bit like Accident à la Vanille from Josette, I think it is. Kind of like that artificial butter kind of fragrance with sugar thrown in there. And that I really hate that smell so much. But that kind of wore off, and I'm kind of doing like this because I had it right here yesterday, like for so many hours. I just couldn't stop sniffing myself. It really turns beautiful. Like, and if you can just get past the first like 5, 10, 15 minutes, it goes from like being semi-beautiful to super beautiful. And I just thought it was incredible, an incredible. I have a little squirt from her. She's just got this tiny bottle, but I did get a little squirt, so I'm gonna like wear it and wear it properly, and then I'll get back to you and see what I think. But when I left, I was like, I love this fragrance, and I started by hating this fragrance. So, salt caramel from Shay and Blue. If you can, get your nose on it, I really recommend to try it, and wait for those first minutes. You don't have to put your nose super close during the first minute after you spray it, because that is chokingly sweet to me in the worst possible way. But if you can just wait for the dry down, that's when the show starts. This fragrance kind of made my day yesterday. Honestly, that was it. It was an experience for sure. So yeah, I'm going to be looking for a bottle, at least a 30 ml. I will definitely be getting sometime in the near future if I still like it when I use this squirt. I will do that. Oh, this turned out to be kind of a longer video after all. But yeah, I'm just kind of happy to share. I just love trying new stuff. But the fragrance for today is definitely this Fatal Charm from Xerjoff. Love it. And Echoes of Silence. Love that too. And Desired from Élisire. Beautiful, beautiful saffron fragrance. And I think that one might be, this Desired one might be a bridge over to loving or liking or appreciating Rosendo Mateu number 5, which I kind of have been on the fence. I don't know if it's a hate or if it's a love, but it's kind of, I don't know, the saffron is kind of pushing me in this direction that I might need to try that again too. Okay, that was all for today, guys.